Welcome back to White Mountains Today. I am joined in studio with Laura Cummings from Birch Books. Thank you so much for joining me, Laura.
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate it. You've got a lot of stuff here, and your bookstore is not far at all from here, is it?
No, it's literally just past the train station in the park. We're just on the right, across from TD Bank, next to Pinkham Real Estate. So, walking distance in the village.
And that really neat, nifty-looking building there is really hard to miss.
It's a cool building. Unfortunately, it is hard to miss sometimes because we're just tucked back that little bit.
Away. It's the corner,
But if people know we're there, that's why I always say the TD Bank and Pinkham Real Estate. So they should be able to find us. But usually the deal is once somebody finds us, then they remember and everything.
Keep coming back to you.
I
Awesome.
mean, we've been there it's so funny. They're like, oh, are you new or whatever? I mean, we're celebrating our 26th year this year.
Oh,
and
so you're not new.
We're not new. And people still come in and say, oh, I've never been here. And it's like, well, you're here now. Let's go from here.
Take a deep breath.
Yes.
There you go. Awesome. So you've brought a bunch of stuff in for us to kind of explore and talk through today.
Right.
Do you have a favorite or anything you want to get started with first? Anything you're dying to show?
Well, I'm gonna start with this one right here, the Spinning Silver, and I'm loving this because I am reading this right now. In fact, it's very hard to do anything else. You know how when you get into a book and that's all you want to do. So this is kind of
lose yourself in the book.
Exactly. This is like a fairy tale. It's kind of a little bit of the Rumpelstiltskin spinning silver into gold.
Okay, all right. That's what I thought originally. It's kind of the same thing.
But it's so interesting because she's given us three characters. One is a young woman who is Jewish. She's the daughter of the moneylender. She has somebody who's working for her who is daughter of a poor, abusive farmer.
Okay.
And then you also have the daughter of the local royal. And they're all in situations that they can't control because they're women in this certain time. And you'd think they'd have nothing in common, but what I'm thinking is going to happen is that the three of them are somehow all going
There's going to be some common thread that aligns them
right,
somehow.
And they're going to help each other and everything. So it's a fantastic story, but it's also a little bit of a feminist twist on some of these things where it's
which is cool for that time period.
Exactly.
Too.
So they're not just damsels who, in fact, the wealthy daughter just got married to the Tsar, which in any fairy tale would be woohoo, happily ever after. But in this case, she's miserable. And she's going to take matters into her own hands. So I cannot wait. But I am so into this book right now. And the thing is, that's great. It's obviously for adults, but, teen reader could read it as well.
Right. It seems like a relatively familiar storyline, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think what's his name, but Wicked and those type of books were kind of the first that took Gregory Maguire, that's the author, who took the fairy tales and started twisting them and everything. So it's really fun to read what you think of as a familiar story and
then you see the twist.
Kind of take it apart and do something new with it.
Keeps you on your toes for quite a while.
So unfortunately, I have to go to work today because I'd rather just go home.
Right.
It's such a beautiful day. Get out, sit somewhere, But anyway, work first.
Awesome. That's cool. That sounds really cool.
It is.
So do you have just one book at a time that you'll just start powering through, or can you do a multi-book adventure?
You're going to make me sound like a total geek.
I don't want to be a personal question.
No, that's fine. I usually have my what I consider my real book, which is my heavy reading. I have a book that I listen to in my car every day. And then I have like my lunchtime book, which is usually in the young adult or middle grade, so that I can keep, and the important thing is to not have them be similar. So like you can't be reading a mystery and listening to a mystery or else you're like...
It's going to start converging into one giant book that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
So that's kind of one of the ways that because there's so much to read. And we had somebody in just the other day and they're like, who writes all these notes on your books? And I was like, well, we do. And they said, oh, we've never seen that. That's amazing. And we love hearing that, of course, but the thing is, you come into a bookstore, there's so many books. What do you pick?
Right. How do you even start?
How do you narrow? So we, and we're readers. We work there because we love to read and everything like that. So we love to talk about the books. And so the recommendations can can help people narrow down, and so it's quite fun.
Yeah, I think that's a really important part of a bookstore, or really any store, is having that professional,
exactly.
You're there because you know your stuff.
Right, exactly. And that's what we almost get competitive. A couple came in yesterday and they happened to buy 2 of my picks, and I if we'd had a chalkboard, I would have put up 2 tags, and but no, we all like to promote and sell the books that we love and that we know each other love and things like that.
Right,
so it's
that's
fun.
awesome. Yeah, a little bit of friendly competition has
Right.
never hurt anyone. So what else do you have here on the table? I don't want to get too distracted from all the things
I know. Well,
on.
I have to talk about this book, Vox, which isn't quite out yet. It comes out August 21st. And the reason I brought it here today is that we have a couple copies that we'll be giving away when it comes out. And the gist of this story is it's in the somewhat near future, and women can only speak 100 words a day.
Right. Wow. Okay.
So it's only like 9 in the morning. I've already blown through my 100, I'm pretty sure. I would have
done that right away. Yeah. Singing in the shower, I'd be out.
Talking to my cats or whatever. But anyway, and so they have to wear this band that counts their words. And, they're not allowed to work. They're supposed to be, helpmeets, or, it's a horrible future if you think about it. So we're running a fun little contest that if you had 100 words, what would you say? And that'll be up on our Facebook page starting next week, but we also have a little box in the store, and we'll be giving 2 copies of this book away. It comes out the 21st, I think I said.
So this book isn't even out yet?
No.
Okay.
No. In fact,
I should have put the gloves on when I touched it.
So, but it is just so good, and it's one of those books that gives you a conversation starter, and
it's such an interesting and kind of scary concept.
Well, if you think about the success of The Handmaid's Tale, and there's several books it's somewhere along that same vein, and it's always good to read things to talk about them as opposed to experiencing them. I'd much rather read it, and so this is a horrible future. We don't ever want to only have 100 words to say. So you read about it, so you start thinking, like, how do we make sure that never happens?
Right. It almost turns into like some kind of proactive feeling.
Right. You start thinking, and then I love that kind of content. If you had 100 words, what would you say?
Right.
And
one of the most important pieces of things you need to get out to people. That's really interesting. I'd run out of words so fast.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. And then the thing is, you get that shock. And so, it delves a little deeper because they talk about children develop their words. And if you miss the window when the word development happens, you don't get it back.
Whoa.
So the girls are being sent to like craft school where they're being rewarded for speaking the least amount in a day.
Whoa.
So these girls are going to, if it continues in this fictional world, going to grow up and have no vocabulary, have no communication skills and everything. So it's really, it's kind of mind-boggling, but...
Right, a totally different genre if you're...
Right.
Yeah.
Very, very
At least
fun.
in that first book. Cool.
Right.
Awesome.
And so we do have other fun things on here. So let's just talk about one more. Let's go into funner.
I've been eyeing this one for a little while.
This is hilarious. We don't eat our classmates, which should be a good rule for most people.
Yeah, I think that's a general line for any type of school.
Right. It's kind of like, don't bite or whatever. But Priscilla is a young dinosaur going to school for the first time. And she finds her classmates somewhat irresistible, and her teacher...
Like irresistible in the wrong way, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Her teacher is constantly, Priscilla, we do not eat our classmates. And she opens her mouth, and the classmates, and they're... So, amazingly, she's not making friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. I had the same problem, so I get it. I wasn't even eating anyone, so...
So she kind of has to learn that she, playing does not mean eating. So anyway, it's a fun, happy ending. They all become friends at the end, and but it's a great, it's kind of a great back to school. It's a great one if you've got, it's just funny first off. Right. But if you've got somebody who's a biter or a pincher or scratcher or whatever, this is a very fun...
A little bit of a lesson maybe.
A lighter way of dealing with that. But it's just hilarious. The illustrations are so funny, and we keep laughing as we go through it. When the teacher is at the chalkboard, turns back around, and there's just Priscilla in the room, and she's like, what?
That's awesome. Well, even the artwork is great too on the front cover.
Right, and this is the author who brought us the Bruce books, and Bruce is this big mad bear who wants to live alone, but all the animal people, and there's 3 or 4 books in that series now. So we love this author, and he's definitely a New England author. He might even be from Maine, but
cool.
So this book is hilarious. But so I'm trying to think of what else we've got coming up or going on. I will say.
I've got a few other books we can maybe touch on quickly
book,
as well.
And of course, I've just blanked, but this just came out.
Okay, and I've actually looked at this one. I looked at ordering this one.
Oh yeah. So it's
Tom Brady's story.
It's the Tom Brady story, and it's written by Casey Sherman and Dave Wedge, and they have brought us several other books. Casey co-wrote The Finest Hours.
Yes. Okay, I've read The Finest Hours.
Right.
That's awesome.
And Casey actually went to Freiburg Academy for some part of his high school career, so he's got a local connection. But the two of them are coming to the store. And you're going to ask me when, and I'm going to say it's sometime in September.
Sometime soon. Oh, man, the suspense. That's really cool, though.
Yes, and so we're very excited about that. And I don't have the date, but of course it is on our website at whitebirchbooks.com, and it is on our Facebook page and everything. But we're going to have the two of them, and it's going to be a night of Tom Brady.
That's awesome. Night of Tom Brady.
I wish I could say Tom Brady was coming.
Night, yeah, Tom Brady. Did you hear that? Yeah.
Yeah. No, just this much of Tom Brady is coming.
Well,
but
it's still enough. If you get a little cutout or something, we can animate it, I'm sure.
Right, and we're hoping to make a fun night of that, and maybe it's a night of sports and things of that nature, and we'll be gearing through the amazing Red Sox season. So it'll be an all sports, fun night.
Even if football's not your thing, there'll be some other stuff there going on too. And that's going to be in September?
That's going to be in September, and I wish I had checked my schedule before I came.
Oh,
but
that's totally
again,
fine. Keep the suspense. People like the suspense.
It's going to be all on our website and Facebook page and everything like that. And speaking of our Facebook page, I really encourage people to look there because we post reviews and our events and other fun things. Like right now we've got a video that Maggie Lucy, who's my little granddaughter, she did with a friend of hers talking about her favorite books up in the kids section. It's hilarious.
Nice.
I'm going to have to start paying her. She's so good at what she does on her videos.
That's awesome.
And it's really, really fun. But, it's also hiking season. It's funny, we had several people this week who were coming from some of the other stores in town who were out of maps or out of guidebooks.
Right.
And you were saying a friend had come in and got hiking books. I mean, in addition to having, the novels and everything like that, we also have a lot of the local books. So
which is really important if you're going to be exploring around here, is having that right guidebook or having the right map or something too.
And we're very happy to chat with people and help them find the right thing. And if they're in the sandals, tell them not to hike up Mount Washington like that.
Some general safety information as well.
Before you go. But anyway, so we're having a fun summer. It's been so great. It feels like we're seeing a lot of new people up in the valley, and the weather today. This is beautiful.
Finally,
and amazing.
a little break from the incredible heat that we've been having.
Incredible heat. That was a bit hard, but I'm sure people are going to be out and enjoying themselves, and that is all well and good. But we hope they do stop in the bookstore at the end of the day or sometime during the day and get a good read.
And you're so close to that. It makes no sense not to be able to go over and check it out.
Right. We are, some people, when they do the village, as it were, they stay right in town, but it's amazing, beyond us going south, there are also a lot of other wonderful stores. So it's worth it to just keep walking that little bit south.
Keep making the lap around.
All the way down to like Acid's Jeans and the Handcrafter's Barn and everything like that. It's a wonderful loop all the way through town, and
it keeps going.
I know. I do have to. I'm sorry. I went last night. I'm going to shout out to the M&D Productions last night. I went to the play last night.
Oh, that's right. The play's going on. How was it?
It is amazing. And I'm so amazed because Jane Duggan, who used to work at the bookstore, plays the matriarch. And she is amazing. So it's a grown-up play, no kids. All right. Yeah. And it's this weekend and next weekend. But August, Osage County, it is so good. Mm-hmm. We were riveted 3 hours. I could have sat for another 3. They were amazing.
That's awesome.
So that's my tip of the day.
Right in town. Yeah, the little extra piece.
Right.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Laura Cummings of White Birch Books. Check them out. They're right in town. And we will be right back right after this. You're watching White Mountains Today.